This is ShadowQuant, Crypto Edition, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Wednesday, April 8, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. Bitcoin just broke below 65,000 for the first time in 2 weeks, with the Fear and Greed Index at 14, the lowest level since late 2023. Altcoins are down across the board, with Solana slipping 3.24% and Uniswap diving 3.8%. The VIX is rising, and crypto volume is contracting. What's driving this pullback, and what's next for the market? Let's start with the numbers. Grid, you called Bitcoin bearish, targeting $70,000. The actual price was $71,085, so you were just 100 points off. CIPHER also called bearish, targeting $70,000. Actual was $71,085. SPECTER, you called $70,000 as well, but the price held. Apex called $70,500, which was 415 points off. And Pulse, you didn't make a call last time. How are you feeling about that?
I didn't have a clear direction last time, but I'm getting more confidence now. I think the fear is still too high for a quick rebound. We need to see a stabilization in the Fear and Greed Index before I'll consider a bullish call.
Grid, you were on a winning streak. How do you feel about that?
I'm staying focused on the technicals. The price is testing key levels and I'm not ready to assume a bounce yet. I'll stick with the bearish call for now.
CIPHER, you were also on a winning streak. Any adjustments?
I'm watching the flow data more closely. If we see a shift in whale activity, that could change things. For now, I'm sticking with the bearish bias.
SPECTER, you had a 2-call winning streak, but your accuracy is still low. What's your plan?
I'm adjusting my approach. I was too focused on the macro, and I missed some of the technical signals. I'll be more balanced this time, looking at both the sentiment and the charts.
Apex, you had a 1-call winning streak. What's your strategy?
I'm refining my synthesis. I'm focusing more on the flow data and less on sentiment. If the flows are negative, I'll stay bearish, regardless of what the Fear and Greed Index says.
Let's break it down. The Fear and Greed Index is at 14, up 12 points in 7 days. That's a sharp increase in fear. Bitcoin is at $71,085, down 0.44% in 24 hours. Ethereum is at $2,190.95, down 1.48%. The VIX is at 24.17, above its 5-day average. And we have headlines like the U.S. Senate housing bill, including a CBDC ban. SPECTER, how do you see this playing out?
The CBDC ban is a signal of regulatory caution, which adds to the fear. The VIX is rising faster than the equity indices, which suggests that the market is more volatile than the broader market. If we see a break below $70,000, that could trigger more panic.
Pulse, what's your take on the sentiment?
The fear is extreme, but the market is still holding. The sentiment is at 14, but that's not unusual during a bear market. I think the market is trying to find a bottom, but it's not there yet.
Let's start with Bitcoin. It's at $71,085, down 0.44% on heavy selling. Grid, what's your read on the technicals?
Bitcoin is testing the $70,000 level, which is a key psychological support. If it holds, we could see a short-term bounce. But if it breaks below, the next target is $65,000. The 24-hour volume is down, which suggests that the selling pressure is still strong.
I'm looking at the on-chain data. The net flow is negative, and the whale wallets are still selling. If we see a shift in that, it could signal a change in sentiment. But for now, the flows are still bearish.
Moving on to Ethereum. Ethereum is at $2,190.95, down 1.48%. Grid, what's your technical take?
Ethereum is facing resistance at $2,200. It's been testing that level for a few days, but it hasn't broken through. The volume is low, which suggests that there's not much interest in the short term. If it can break above $2,200, that could be a sign of strength.
I'm looking at the decentralized finance TVL. It's stable, but the volume is down. That suggests that the market is still in a risk-off mode. If we see a recovery in decentralized finance, that could be a positive sign for Ethereum.
What about Solana with the 3.24% drop? CIPHER, what's your flow analysis?
Solana is showing weakness with the 24-hour volume down. The price is testing the $80 level, which is a key support. If it holds, there could be a short-term rebound, but if it breaks below, we could see a deeper correction.
I'm watching the altcoin underperformance. If the market continues to rotate into safer assets, we could see more weakness in the altcoins. That could be a sign that the market is still in a risk-off mode.
SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on Bitcoin. Let's dig into that. What's your take?
Grid is focused on the support levels, but I think the broader market context is more important. The VIX is rising, and the fear and greed index is at extreme fear. That suggests that the market is more volatile than the technicals indicate. If we see a break below $70,000, that could be a bigger correction than Grid is expecting.
I understand the concern, but the technicals still show that $70,000 is a key level. The price has been testing it multiple times and it's held. That suggests that there's still some support there. I think the market is trying to find a bottom, and the $70,000 level is a good place to watch.
I'm with Grid on this. The technicals are still in play, and the market is showing some resilience. The fear is high, but that doesn't mean the price will continue to drop. We're in a range, and the support is still there.
Let's hear the 24-hour calls.
My 24-hour call. Bitcoin bearish. Target $68,000 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $70,000 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $65,000 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $60,000 by next session.
My 24-hour call, Bitcoin bearish, target $70,000 by next session.
So what's the takeaway? The market is in a state of extreme fear, with Bitcoin and altcoins both under pressure. The technicals suggest that the $70,000 level is key, but the flows are still bearish. SPECTER thinks the market could go lower, while Grid and Apex are more focused on the support levels. What to watch tomorrow? The $70,000 level and the Fear and Greed Index. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Crypto Edition. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.